Take the fastest internet to the house, Lobos, with Xfinity XFi. Stream your Lobos all season long on every in-home device, no matter where you watch. It's beyond Wi-Fi. It's XFi, Xfinity, proud partner of the UNM Lobos. All right, trying to catch my breath here, Hunter. That was quite a finish. And how about Corey Manigault scoring, getting fouled, knocking down the free throw, then stealing, sprinting, scoring. Last 5 points of the game, Manigault points for UNM. Lobos win 66-64 on Corey's senior night with his mom on hand in the stands here this evening watching Sophia Green. How proud must she feel?
Oh, she's got to feel good, I tell you. And Corey's walking around here giving high fives and hugs to the fans. And senior night, this is the way you want to go out on your last game in the pit.
Can't beat it. Fans' early detection saves lives. Take charge of your health and get mammograms regularly. Lobos 66, Utah State 64 is the final. 4 Lobos in double figures, led by 17 points from Vance Jackson. Hit 3 huge first-half threes. 16 points for Corey Manigault, who in 24 minutes went 7 of 15 from the field. He was so efficient tonight, Hunter.
Yeah, early on, he didn't miss a shot.
10 points apiece, yeah, for Malawach and Martin. You're right, Manigault was ice in the first half. Ice water in his veins. Love that cliche. 8 points for Lyle. How about 10 dimes for Jaquan? He didn't shoot it 3 of 13, but boy, did he pass it. He found his teammates in spots where they could do damage.
Well, he's kind of like Keita is as a big in the paint, as a presence. He doesn't block very many shots, but, man, he just makes you change up a lot of shots. Same way with Lyle. Yeah. Same way with Lyle. Lyle
You're right,
is
Coach.
a threat, and you got to key in on him, and he makes others make them pay.
I don't know if fans could hear Danny Gonzalez on our crowd mic. The new Lobo football coach came over and said, that was a pit crowd of old tonight.
Yeah.
Might not have been capacity, but they were just as loud as they could be, weren't they?
No, it was a fun game to watch, and I really was impressed with the play of Zane Martin at the end and the decision-making and getting to the bucket, and that's where they needed it because they weren't knocking down threes in the second half, and boy, they did come through. I mean, it paid off, and he struggled a couple times at the end of games making the right decisions, and he was able to make the right decisions here tonight.
And I love the word you used in our pregame show, Hunter. I want to go back to it. Is that Snake?
Yeah, Snake.
Snake. Hey, Hunter, we got him right where we want him, says Snake. Atta baby, Snake.
We're sitting at 7 seed. That's where we want to be.
So, your word in the pregame was redemption.
Yeah.
Manigault got it.
Yep.
Right? Corey, great night. Key plays down the stretch on his senior night. Mm-hmm. And how about Zane Martin? Redemption.
Yeah.
Who didn't play at the finish of a game the Lobos had in their grasp on Wednesday at Air Force. Mm-hmm. Worked his way back to a point where Coach Weir trusted him with 4 fouls late in the game.
Kept him in there.
And he delivered.
Yeah. No, he did. And like I said, I was really impressed with his play throughout. I mean, we don't give enough credit to Lyle. I mean, I tell you, Lyle.
Tremendous night.
Lyle,
he played all 40 minutes, Hunter.
And he also had to guard Keita. I mean, he was doing that job down low.
6'5" on a 7-footer.
So.
Wow. New Mexico wins 66-64. If you haven't heard, Lobos are the 7th seed. They get San Jose State. That is a 3:30 Mountain Time tip-off for the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas next Wednesday. The Lobos are officially on the Utah State side of the bracket, the 2-seed Aggies, who just went down to UNM. Now you've got your chest puffed out, Hunter, because you just beat the team that you'll get a chance to beat again if you can get past John Prelo's San Jose State Spartans.
Yeah, well, you feel like, look, we beat Utah State. We can beat San Jose State. So, no, you're right, and they need some feel-good. They've lost 5 in a row, right? And so anytime and you get a win and feel good about yourselves going into Las Vegas, Pit West, as they call it, right?
5 in a row lost, 9 of 11 lost.
Right.
So this was just a massive game for UNM. And, momentum, baby.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was 10 of 12. the Lobos had lost 10 of 12. So, in addition to ending the Lobos 5-game skid, the Lobos also end the 6-game winning streak that Utah State brought into this game, right?
That's right. So now they're going to Vegas with a loss.
Exactly. Our guest, special assistant to the head coach, that would be Craig Snow and Vance Jackson. Lobo forward. Congratulations, gentlemen. How did it feel out there tonight, Vance?
Man, it was a much-needed win that we needed, and I just feel good that we just ended the season with a W and get some momentum going for Vegas.
You feeling the 3 early? Looked like you got your stroke going, a little rhythm very early today.
Yeah. Coach has been telling me shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting it fly.
Craig, what did you think was the difference here tonight?
Energy, 100%. I think it started with just the guys really buying in defensively and playing with a lot of energy, flying all over the place, especially early in the game. And I thought we shared the ball offensively. 19 assists on 26 made field goals is a lot for us. And Jaquan, had 10. But it was really our guys were stepping up and making shots from the perimeter. I mean, they're a really good. There's a really good half-court basketball team on both ends, like an elite level half-court basketball team. And I just thought our guys' energy more than anything helped us carry the way and get us going.
Yeah, Coach, I thought you guys did it on the defensive end. The deflections, the ball pressure out here in the backcourt with on Porter, and just the ball pressure in the second half and deflections. Guys were getting their hands on a lot of entry passes, and you turned them over 17 times. Good job.
Vance, big night for you. Got it revved up early. Tell us about the defensive game plan on Neemias Queta, because we saw Quan on him, we saw you on him, we saw Wap on him, everybody working hard against the 7-footer.
Man, we've been going hard in practice, just locking in on the game plan. We all wanted to win. We don't like losing, so I feel like us and practices, pregame, we're all locked in, no playing around. And that's just everybody from, whoever's starting to whoever's on the bench, we're all locked in. So I just feel like we just held everybody accountable to their job, and it was playing good defense.
Go ahead. I want to ask you about that play where you went to the basket and Porter. I don't think
great call, Hunter.
I don't think he tried to block it. He was just going after you.
Yeah, that's a great question, Hunter.
What happened there? Walk us through that.
I honestly thought I was going to dunk it. I was my whole mindset.
Wait
I was
a minute, you
going to
dunk that?
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to dunk it. I got this steal. I had momentum. Okay. I was really going to dunk it.
Right.
But then, it's a hard foul. It's basketball. Yeah. Let's move on to the next play.
Yeah, that hard foul, flagrant two ejection. Coach, no, follow up on what I asked about the defensive game plan against Queta, because you guys, I thought, did a really good job of it. He still had a nice game, of course, double-double, but it seemed like the double team came pretty quickly. Occasionally you fronted him. You really made it hard for the Lobos opponent, Utah State, to get entry passes. What was the plan and how was it executed?
Well, I think, our guys just did a really good job of getting to the front. There's a couple times we were maybe a little bit late from the weak side, but, just from my vantage point, it felt like they were a little too focused on getting it in there, and we were really doing a good job of taking it away. And they were, there were a couple times when they moved it out of there, they were able to get an extra pass for some open perimeter shots. But it was really just our guys battling, because he's a really good player. You saw his whole skill set tonight, like from Queta's standpoint. He hit a mid-range jumper, he scored on the block, he blocked some shots, but he was also kind of a target for us offensively. We were able to get him involved in some actions and move him around the floor. They got other guys open shots. But I just thought our guys executed. It was really nothing more than just getting in a stance, and playing really, really hard and communicating. More than anything, I think schematically was the effort that the guys showed.
And every time Queta brought it down, and I can remember the freshman, Kurt Vegscheider, although he played 20 minutes, didn't score a bucket, had 5 rebounds, I thought he was a disruptor down low on Queta.
Yes, absolutely. Like he's able to dive in there, and he's got really quick hands. And even when he's pressuring in the backcourt, like he disrupts things. And you look at the stat line, but we felt like we needed him out there.
Yeah.
Whenever we're getting down to the stretch and Zane's got 4 fouls, it's our discussion is all right. Zane gets his 5th here, who's coming back in? And, Kurt's defense was phenomenal. And I thought he really helped set the pace for us from a defensive standpoint.
Vance, I wanted to ask you how badly you wanted this one for the seniors. I know Carlton's not here, but you guys are thinking about Bragg, and of course Manigault and Lyle honored pregame center court. I know you wanted it bad for those boys.
Man, yeah, got to. You got to end. You got to end, you know what I'm saying, your home court. You know what I'm saying, the crowd coming with a victory, you know what I'm saying. I'm just happy, you know what I'm saying, they played a good game as well. They led. And
you just said they led.
Yep.
They went on a 13-0 run. How'd you guys get back in the game there in the second half?
Just locking in and just finishing, you know what I'm saying. I feel like we had a lot of lapses throughout the season where we just we let loose, you know what I'm saying. But we all locked in and we held each other accountable and finished with a W.
And you guys made some big shots, Coach Snow. There were 3 consecutive threes. You scored 9 in a row after they went on that run.
Yeah, there was a couple times. I mean, there was that run. There was whenever Vance had the intentional foul. He stepped up, made both free throws. We got the dunk on the inbound. And then there was still a time when they went up 4 on a 3, and we came back and were able to score. But, I was really comfortable with where we were. Off the top of my head, I think Vance, Quan, and Wap had 40 of our 58 shots. I really liked that number. And then Zane made those shots down the stretch. So, he was just so unbalanced when he got to the paint.
That's what I was going to get to, because when Utah State went to that zone, you guys kind of struggled a little bit. I mean, you guys weren't knocking down a 3, and then all of a sudden Zane started penetrating and getting to the paint, started causing some problems either dishing or finishing at the rim. I thought that was part of the success in the second half.
No question. I was really worried as the first 2 possessions we had against the 1-3-1 were just a little loose, and you could see our guys trying to process. It's just different gaps.
Yeah.
It's the same principles, but once we were able to penetrate inside, we were able to get layups. I mean, we had some really big finishes and some really good shots in the paint.
I mean, did you, during the huddles and the timeouts, were you specifically talking about ball penetration?
Yeah, so when they went to the 1-3-1, I believe we were 4 guards. So we were able to sub back. I think we brought Watt back into the game. Yeah. That allowed us to have a little more activity down along the baseline. So we kind of tried to load up the baseline a little bit more. But initially I think Vance was at the 5. We had Quach in the middle of the zone. And it wasn't quite what we were wanting to do. So the substitution allowed us to kind of get our guys into the right spots. And we still had some good shots. I mean, Vance missed a 3 at the top. That's a good look. Any catch-and-shoot 3 for Vance, I feel, is a pretty good shot for us.
For sure.
We missed a couple that just didn't go down, but you're right in that once we started penetrating into the paint and getting around the basket, and it's hard because Cade is down there, and he's big enough that he can guard 2 guys. And we hadn't seen – you can't really replicate that in a press, you've got a big guy at the rim like that.
You only shot 8 free throws for the game.
Yeah, and 2 of them you think, were on Vance's breakaway. And, I thought early on there was some contact around. But, that's what you're going to get this time of year. I didn't really think that – I thought our guys had to play through some things. And that's good because when you get into elimination play, not everything's going to go your way. And all we're promised now is 40 minutes. So, I think that was a really good experience for our guys.
Give us your perspective on the seniors, Coach Snow, because the theme in the pregame – from my partner Hunter Green was redemption, a chance for several guys, and it was a great performance by Corey Manigault, and he scored your last 5, the great 3-point play, the steal and score. Talk about him, and then Jaquan Lyle on a night when he didn't shoot it, 10 assists.
Yeah, I thought Corey started us off and finished us. He had a really good start to the game, and he has a lot of confidence in his jump shot. And at the end of the day, against a really good half-court defensive team, him shooting an open jump shot is not that bad of a shot for us.
And it pulled Cade out.
And it pulls Cade out.
Right.
It gives you a chance to get offensive rebounds. And, I thought he did play well. But it starts, in the way the last 2 days. Like, he's had some pretty focused practices. And that kind of bled over into the game. And he came out ready to prove some things. And, Jaquan, just from I've always felt like he could just be an unbelievable assist maker, passer, table setter. If he focused on that. And tonight I felt like he was in that mold. And I thought he played that way at Air Force. In the second half of the Air Force game, he made a lot of really good plays. We didn't make some of those shots, but he made a lot of the right play, and he carried that over tonight. And that's what he's capable of doing. I think the first game this season he had double-digit assists. Now he's got double-digit assists, and we need him to be able to have the ball in his hands and find the open guy. So I'm really happy they were to come out of here with a victory tonight.
Bookends, 11 assists in the opener, 10 in the regular season finale against Eastern New Mexico, and now against Utah State for Jaquan Lyle. How pumped are you now to get to Las Vegas for the Mountain West Tournament advance, where you had a pretty good feeling for 2 games last season in that tournament? One of them was against this Utah State club.
Man, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I know the fans are excited, and it's going to be a show.
Going to be a show. Can you replicate maybe a little bit what you had a season ago? Because 2 fabulous efforts in both the first round game and in the quarterfinal game.
I feel like when I'm more aggressive, instead of being passive, we're so dangerous, and so I'm just going to watch as much film on our next opponent. I don't even know who we got. San Jose State. San Jose. And all I got to say is for the fans and everybody, they should count on us. I'll take us any day. Of all these teams, I'll take us.
I love it, Vince.
Right.
Coach No, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
man.
Thanks,
Vince,
sir.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
After the timeout, Lobo head coach Paul Weir joins us. We're live courtside on Albertsons Radio Row in Dreamstyle Arena of the Pit. The Lobos win on senior night 66-64 over Utah State. The Lobos will be the 7th seed in round 1, taking on San Jose State, 3:30 Mountain Time Wednesday next week at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Back after this, Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. The Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority reminds you, service settings selection, keys to a beautiful desert-friendly yard. It was a beautiful win for UNM, and you are locked into the Lobo basketball post-game show presented by the Crown Room at the Downs Racetrack and Casino. Our guest is Lobo head coach Paul Weir. And Coach Weir, first I want to ask, and we talked about this before the Air Force game, how desperately you wanted a win for your team. To have it be tonight against a team that was ranked as high as 15th in the nation, Utah State. What was it like in the locker room after this one?
It was good. I think a lot of relief. We've been in a lot of these close games here lately. You guys have been courtside for all of them, at Air Force, at Fresno, home to UNLV. I mean, you've been right there in these one-possession games, and, we've unfortunately just found ways to drop those and to finally kind of break through and make the plays and finish the free throws and get the stops and the rebounds and all those things. I'm just so happy for the guys. I just told them, I don't think they even know how good Utah State is right this very moment. We talk about when it's important to play teams. If you played Utah State much earlier in the year when they got beat at Air Force pretty good, then that was a different team. But Utah State right now is playing at a very high level. So to get this win against that quality of an opponent, I hope makes them feel really good about themselves as well, the players.
Well, win will always make you feel good.
Good point. Good point.
Well, Coach, you talked about in the pregame just one-shot defense.
Yep.
Although they beat you on the boards, and they got 12 offensive boards.
Yep.
Is that?
I thought it was okay. I mean, Keita's obviously special,
Yeah.
and especially when we went small, we got Vance at the 5.
Right.
We were just trying to do as best we could. They're a terrific offensive rebounding team, and I think, for them to have 8 live ball ones over the course of the game, it wasn't bad. I mean, was it perfect? No, but for the lineups we had out there, I thought it was as good an effort as we could have had.
I really was impressed with how you finished the game and the decision-making.
Yeah.
The execution of Martin in particular, because he was playing with 4 fouls, but at the end when he had the ball, and of course – when the jump shots weren't falling on the perimeter, he started taking it to the hole. And was that kind of what the strategy was when they went to the zone, I guess?
Yeah, so they were kind of they went man, they went 2-3, then when they went 1-3-1. They went 2-3, we scored on it a couple of times, went 1-3-1, and then we didn't have a couple good possessions, and we finally scored against the 1-3-1 a few times, and then they kind of went man. We were just kind of adjusting. They were going with smaller and bigger lineups as well.
Went small.
Yeah, we were just kind of going chess match back and forth with different things. And you're right, I thought the guys did a really good job. I talked about in the pregame, it was defensive rebounding. We had to take care of the basketball. And I think to have 3 second-half turnovers, really, really big. That's how you win a basketball game, especially against a team of this caliber. So those are the big things to me. I mean, our field goal percentages were almost identical, as both teams either ways, but those turnovers are a big stat for us.
I thought
to
you
kind of
guys
steal those.
brought the energy in the second half defensive, especially ball pressure. Utah State still made some tough shots. They shot the
They
three
did.
better in the second half.
And I told the guys at multiple timeouts, at the end of the day, all we can control is the quality of the shot. How good is our shot? How good? We can't always control whether it goes in. And we had some great looks that weren't going down, and they were Merrill made some really tough shots. And hey, you tip your cap. He's a great player, but I just felt over the long run we were getting better shots, and that we should be where we need to be. And fortunately, it came our way.
The defensive effort on Merrill. I mean, he's a guy who's gone for 33 against you Valentine's Day 2 years ago. So to hold him to 18, had a 6 of 16 floor, 4 of 12 3, and as you mentioned, took a lot of tough shots. How did you feel about the way your team executed the game plan on him?
Kurt has been a huge bonus for us. Because Kurt's able to come in and just apply great defensive energy, and he can take a lot of pressure off the other guys so that when McQuatch does get on Merrill, he's going to have him for 5 possessions as opposed to 15 or 20. And Kurt's ability to come in and just steal those defensive possessions from the other guys just gives us a lot of defensive versatility.
And you don't see that in the stats.
No, not at all.
I mean, he played like 20 minutes.
Not at all.
He had 5 boards.
Yeah.
But I thought defensively, not just on the ball, but he was helping down low on digging on Keita.
No, he was terrific.
Yeah.
I walked into the team room on Thursday's practice. Said, guys, I don't know what's going on, but Kurt's starting Saturday, so get over it. His energy, his defense, everything that goes on, we need more of it. And I think he's made it a little bit more infectious. He's brought that to now some of the other guys are playing harder, and they're bringing more because you need to see it sometimes.
Right.
You need to see somebody else do it for me to do it. And unfortunately, since JJ left, we haven't had a guy that's been able to really bother the ball and show everybody else, hey, this is what we need to do. And Kurt's been a huge bonus for us.
That speaks directly to my next question, because you go back to Wednesday at Air Force, and the late game minutes that would have been Zane Martin's were Kurt's. And what we saw, and Hunter pointed it out, Zane was up in Porter in the second half all the time, making it really hard for him to initiate their offense.
Yeah, no, Zane, when Air Force game was not great. Had a really strong meeting with him post that and said some truth things that might have hurt, and his bounce back has been awesome.
So
the last few days took it terrific. Eliminated the shots that drive me crazy. I mean, just did everything that I've asked him to do.
His decision making, not just his on-the-ball defense, but his decision
making. No question. And again, it was UNLV all over again. He had the ball in his hands, coming down court, big moment on the line, and I'm sitting there going, you know what? Let's roll with it, and hopefully that UNLV is an opportunity to win the next one. And he was awesome. He really was.
He had chances at the end at Fresno State. It didn't work out.
Yep.
He had chances at the end at San Jose State. It
no
didn't
question.
work out. Hunter's word pregame tonight was redemption, Coach.
Yeah.
And I thought we saw it for a senior, Corey Manigault. We saw it for Zane Martin. And Jaquan Lyle, 10 assists when he didn't shoot the ball well. He was a huge setup man.
No, he's got – we've talked about it, how he's kind of faded a little bit, but I do feel a little bit more of an uptick now and just a little bit more pop, a little bit more speed, a little bit more attacking the rim. And it's very – it happened against Air Force, to be honest with you. It started –
we noticed the juice in Air Force.
We said it – I told the team afterwards that was Jaquan's best game in 2 months. I mean, just as far as the way he was moving, and he looked good again tonight. So hopefully that's something that we'll be able to take going forward because you are driven by those guys, the Merrills, the Lyles, those guys start a lot of things for you, the attention they draw and the things they can do. And the reality is he just had a 6-week stretch there where he just looked like an old man. And hopefully we can get him back to being the young kid that he was to start the year.
And the defense, I mean, he took on that challenge of guarding Keita.
He did.
I thought it worked.
He did.
Got a chance to speak with Sophia Green a little bit before the game
tonight.
Yeah, mom of Corey Manigault. And, of course, she was here on court with him pregame. And, talking with her, you could hear in her voice just how long a road it's been and how difficult a road it's been for Corey Manigault. And I would love for you to give us your thoughts on the way he finished the game, because there was a period there where he sat in the second half, and then the changes occurred in the way that the game was being, the mechanics of it.
Yeah,
Coach to coach. You brought him in.
Yeah,
He
it was a chess
awesome.
match.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to Carleton last year when Carleton played Cada. I think the size and the intimidation of Cada brings you away from the rim, and you feel like Carleton Bragg shot more threes against Utah State than he shot against anybody. Cada made him do that, and I thought Corey fell into that trap as well. He was trying to shoot jumpers, trying to prove something, and then when he sat for that long time and went back to him, everything from there on out was to the rim. It was dunks, it was attacking, it was to the rim, and that's what we needed. They were going zone there in that 1-3-1. It was a chess match, so we went small, we spread them out. They went zone. We struggled. We knew we had to get them back in. We struggled in a couple possessions of 1-3-1, so we got him back in. He was able to make a couple of big plays at the rim in the 1-3-1, got them out of it. And from there, he was good. That steal at the top on defense, which he's done such a good job of this year, kind of cheating that pass, was enormous. And that obviously led to the all kinds of. He was good. And obviously, I talk to parents a lot, some more than others, depending on how many times I need to call parents. But Sophia's probably top of the Rolodex or whatever you call it nowadays. We've spent hours and hours and hours on the phone discussing him. He's an only child. She's a single mom. All they really have is each other. They have a very close emotional relationship based on a lot of different things, and I'm kind of the third part to that. I'm the triangle. So I'm talking to him about her about him, and everything in between. And it has been a challenge. Corey, like I said on the pregame, is very young. He's a 21-year-old senior, and he went to college very young. He went to an ACC school at 17 years old. He's had a lot of things that he struggled with, and she cares for him. I care for him, and we just need to get him to care for him more. But hopefully we'll finish this thing strong, get his degree, and he'll use this as a great learning opportunity.
Imagine a sense of satisfaction to see him make those 2 plays down the stretch, the 3-point play, hit the key free throw, then the steal and the layup. He scored your last 5 to finish the game.
Yeah, no, he was awesome. I thought Vance's free throws on the technicals were big. We had a lot of guys just step up and make winning plays, where in the last couple of months we always found a way to kind of screw it up or contribute to the loss. But tonight it was like we were the winning team. We made the winning plays when we needed to, which was awesome.
And I know Quan, he had a couple of free throws at Air Force he'd love to have back, to have him play as well as he did, and be such a facilitator for his senior night. That's a big deal too.
It is, yeah. I mean, the thing I like is even though he was missing, he was going to the rim more. There was more stuff at the rim, and that's what he needs to concentrate more on. And when he tries to become an on-the-ball three-point shooter, it's not good. He can be an off-the-ball three-point shooter, but he doesn't need to be searching his three on the ball, and he's doing a better job at that. And I think it's because he's getting more legs back. I think, unfortunately.
Do you guys track that? I'm just curious. Do you track when he's on the ball shooting the three versus when he's a catch and shoot?
We do, yes. Okay. His aren't as crazy as you'd think.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, him missing those catch and shoots tonight are going to be, see, Coach, I need,
no,
I need
he
the
had
ball
in
my
time.
hand. He did. You're exactly. Well, he's readjusting it. I'm like, come on, man, just shoot the dang thing. I know. Tell me about it. But still, he took the catch and shoots early in the game, and he does. He's our best three-point shooter statistically. He's our number one guy, and that's what we need when he's open and it's a catch and shoot. Sometimes he's forcing and threading passes that aren't quite there, and hey, man, sometimes you got to take that one. But overall, we got him back in the post a little bit. We got him going to the rim a little bit, and we need to do more of that. Move him around the court and use him in different ways.
He could be a really good quarterback from the post.
For sure, and that's what we did early in the year. The issue was, again, he lost a little bit. He just, he wore down, and then, quite frankly, we didn't have a guard that could get it to him there. He had to be the facilitator on the perimeter. But with Kurt being able to come in now and Kurt just moves the ball. He gets it where he needs to get to. He doesn't over dribble. He's perfect right now.
Coach, talk about going to this tournament because you got back-to-backs, and maybe the bench being more involved in minutes and.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know who we're playing. I don't even know.
Yeah, San Jose State.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. So
3:30 Mountain Time Wednesday.
Good to know.
Yep.
It's really going to be matchups. Last year I thought we went into the tournament playing a certain style. We looked at the bracket. It was Wyoming, Utah State, and figured, let's crank it up. These are two good matchups for us if we really pressure. So we pressed, and for 40 minutes against Wyoming and for 35 minutes against Utah State, we gave ourselves a chance. We just got to kind of look at the bracket, look at where we're at, how do we match up, what can we do best to help us win maybe that game, the next game, whatever it is. But it starts with San Jose State. We got to get that win and whatever we can to kind of get there.
But being in tournaments and having to play back-to-backs,
yeah,
you're going to have to have
for
a longer
sure,
bench.
for sure, and that's why I feel good that Kurt has got the minutes he has lately. Jordan has got the minutes he has lately. It was tough. Keith and Vontae, we were trying to get them in. They struggled at the beginning when they came in with some defensive assignments. I didn't feel great about going back to him. We gave Keith a run, then he made a three, and his defense was much better in the second half. But unfortunately, Keith and Vontae have both missed a lot of practice time lately where we're doing scouting, we're doing shell defense, we're talking about our switches, our coverages, and they were just a little bit slow tonight. So we got to get them caught up by Wednesday to where they can go in and we don't have this drop-off of everyone's looking around and some guy's taking a wide-open shot.
Nice to see Keith feeling better coming off that respiratory infection, and Vontae, after missing 2 games in a row, getting back in action. No E-Man today, no Emmanuel Quast.
I would have loved to have got him in. Yeah, it was just trust me, I'd like to get all these guys in. They've all been in and out here lately. It was a little bit of flow of the game.
Just matchups, really?
Yeah, I think so. I talked about it upstairs. Our starting lineup, unfortunately, is not a great numbers lineup. It hasn't done well. When we have 3 guards on the floor, our numbers are higher. They're higher offensively and they're higher defensively. So it kind of squeezes the bigs out a little bit. And we've tried to play bigger lineups for rebounding purposes, but when we look at the efficiencies at the end of the day, they're really not where we want them. So we've been going to some more 3-guard lineups with Zane and Keith and Jaquan, or Kurt, Zane, and Vontae, or whoever it might be, and it's kind of squeezed out the bigs. An E-Man, a Jordan. It's put Vance at the 5. It's just kind of been a smaller group. And efficiency-wise, it makes a lot of sense. So we'll kind of manage it going into the tournament as well.
The way it sets up, Coach Ware, it looks a little bit like a season ago in that if you get to the quarters, Utah State is there. They're going to be the 2 seed.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know any scores today. I've been calling this game root canal for 48 hours. I've been locked in my office going, we're about to go through root canal. They have 70-something plays, 55 defenses. I mean, they're an excellent basketball team. I mean, and are playing really well. We've been locked in a cage trying to figure out how to beat these guys, and I couldn't tell you who's playing who or where or what. So I'll get upstairs and look at all that
Rob
stuff.
Rob has all that.
Yeah.
The times. And
I think once you tell your
that's
guys,
why he is who he is.
Yeah, that's going to give them a good feeling, though. That they just beat Utah State on their home floor, and now they get them on a neutral court if you get past San Jose State. So just, an encouraging thing that, look, maybe our best win of the year.
Look, I told the guys that if I wasn't dumb enough to get a technical foul, and if we didn't have the 10-second violation, I mean, we could have been 2 for 3 last year. This isn't a team that we're this huge gap in them and us. Now, they're a great basketball team, but I don't go to bed at night thinking, oh, my God, whatever this might be. So, and I think tonight was hopefully more proof of that. We finally got over the hump. We were close with them twice last year, couldn't get them. So to finally get them is hopefully going to give our guys some confidence as well.
We'll see you in Vegas next week.
Yep.
Pitt West.
Yep.
Good luck, Coach.
You're exactly right.
Lobo head coach Paul Weir. Post-game, Lobos 66, Utah State 64. Back after this timeout. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. We have a winner. Lobos end their 5-game skid, and they stop the 6-game win streak of Utah State. 66-64 is the final as you're dialed into the post-game show presented by Crown Room at the Downs Racetrack and Casino. Plenty of choices in a great basketball game. Here's our selection for your Toyota Drive of the Game. Toyota, let's go places. They want Merrill to get the ball. Tap away by Manigault. Manigault spinning the rim. Layup is good. Lobos by 3. 22 seconds left. Corey Manigault with the final 500 redemption, baby. You called it.
You almost ran out of breath on that.
I know. Well,
seconds left.
Oh, my goodness. How good is that? That's your Toyota Drive of the Game, Toyota. Let's go places. Let's talk about the play before when Manigault scored and got fouled and made the free throw after the timeout, right? The free throw came after. But it was Zane Martin's penetration. He finds Malawach. Malawach double clutches. Patience. cross-key feed. Manigault gets fouled and scores. It was everything you're looking for in a possession, right?
I don't know if you noticed, but after he made that basket, he fell to the floor. He sat there, was pumping his fists, and said, "Oh, I got to get up. There's still time left on the clock."
Oh, man. So much fun tonight. Okay, so recap for you. Lobos play Wednesday, March 4th, next week at Pitt West, Thomas & Mack Center, Las Vegas, Nevada, 2:30 Pacific, 3:30 Mountain, 7-seed Lobos, 10-seed San Jose State. Our airtime, 3 p.m., Lobo basketball pregame show. It's going to be a blast. Don't miss one single possession. Thank you to Mike Vitale, our broadcast producer and engineer, and to my broadcast partner, Hunter Green. Pre-game tradition, Hunter, little in and out before game one of the tournament.
There you go, baby. That's right.
I love it. In-N-Out Burger. It's done well for us before.
Get the urge.
All right. I'm Robert Portnoy. Thanks for listening tonight. Final score for the final time. The Lobos get the W. So desperately needed. They're 18-13. Finished conference play 7-11. They drop Utah State to 23-8 and 12-6 in league. Lobos 66. Utah State 64. Good night, everybody. You've been listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.